Defensively for the Hornets, Chris Morelli is going to be on the hill. Matthew Cotton is his battery mate today. In the outfield from left to right, it's Brad Hilton, Drew Taylor, and Will Harris. Around the diamond, Thomas Powell is at third, Ryan Katona is at short, Joe Tomasulo is at second, and Tyler Johnson is at first base. Lynchburg coached by Percy Abel in his 18th season. Ed Fulton has 2 years on him, 20 seasons at Averett University. Cougars lost 18-9 against Tufts yesterday, in which case they did kick the ball around a little bit. Cougars had 9 errors yesterday. I am Bob Alvis, filling in for Joe Hutzler today, joined by Justin Jones as we are ready to go here at City Stadium. Chris Morelli's first pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 offering from the righty misses low, 2-0.
This is Chris's first start of the season. He's a right-handed pitcher. You'll probably see fastball, curveball, changeup, and a slider from him today.
It'll be a 2-0. And the pitch to Smithers is in there for a strike, 2-1. Dallas Smithers, a sophomore out of Ringgold, Virginia, went to Dan River High School, right down 29. Not too much of a drive to get over to Averett as well. The 2-1. Up for a strike, 2-2.
Smithers, he's a great leadoff guy. He has 19 runs scored, leads the team, and he's batting .304 for the season.
It'll be a 2-2 from Morelli. Smithers in the right-handed batter's box. Takes, and he thought it was ball 3. Instead, strike 3 as he is rung up, and Hornets have their first out of the evening on the Morelli strikeout.
That was a great job by Chris getting the first out of the inning here, in the bottom, or top of the first.
This is going to bring up Hunter Ashworth. He is the second baseman. Ashworth out of Danville played his high school baseball for Barry Shelton at nearby Tunstall High School. He is a junior. Ashworth will stand in from the right side. Takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Yesterday versus Tufts, he went 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored for the Cougars.
The 0-1. Foul straight back, and the count goes to 0-2. Important for the pitcher to get ahead in the count early just to give Morelli some confidence. We talked about not much playing for him this year so far. It'll be an 0-2. Ball outside misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's a great chase pitch by Chris right there, trying to get Ashworth to chase for strike 3.
1-2 from the righty. Hornets in their home blacks. Lynchburg on the front, written in red, outlined in white pants. And the stirrup socks, which need to be making a comeback all over, so that one is fouled right side. Hornets had a doubleheader on Monday against Emory and Henry. It was supposed to be Saturday. It got rained out. Hornets will be on the road tomorrow up towards Farmville, where they'll take on Hampton Sydney. I should say. Tufts will come in on Friday, and then a doubleheader Saturday at Virginia Wesleyan, as that is hit on the ground to short. Katona Fields fires in time for out number 2.
It's a great 1-2 pitch by Chris, making him chase outside the zone to get a ground ball to get the second out of the inning for the Hornets.
Only off day for Lynchburg was yesterday, and after that it's been baseball for Coach Percy Abel's squad. They had the double dip Monday against Emory and Henry that they split, winning the first game 8-4, dropping the second 13-3. They got Averett today, and then on the road Thursday, home Friday, and then on the road for 2 on Saturday as the pitch to Kyle Vadeno is going to miss for a ball, 1-0. Vadano out of Albemarle High School in Charlottesville, so Ed Fulton hitting the 29 corridor north and south as Vadano showed bunt and pulled it back, 2-0.
Yeah, Kyle is batting third for the Cougars right here, and he has 19 runs scored on the season. See him get on base, and he's 11 stolen bases on the season, so he's a threat to run.
The 2-0 from Morelli in their first strike, 2-1. You don't see that many stolen bases normally from your 3-hole.
Yeah, I mean, this Cougars lineup's full of them. As Smithers batting leadoff has 9, and behind Vidino in the 4 hole for Chell has 6 of them. That's usually don't see that out of the 4-hitter.
Vidano 1 pitch away from getting on. Counts 3-1. It'll be a 3-1 from Morelli. He'll go from the line. And it's grounded up the middle. Tomasulo comes over, backhands, throws on to first in time. And that will do it for the Cougars here in inning number 1. Cougars go 3 up, 3 down. Lynchburg will have their turn. When we come back, it'll be Powell, Katona, and Tomasulo. You're listening to Lynchburg Baseball on LHSN and ESPN Radio. Things started for the Cougars here in the second has Morelli, who is getting his last warm-up toss. For the first start, there were no jitters in the first inning that I saw, Justin.
Yeah, Morelli did a great job at retiring the 1-2-3 hitters for the Cougars. Now, let's see if he can do it here in the second inning, too.
Gets a little bit tougher when you see 4, 5, and 6. It'll be Futrell, McLaughlin, and Evans. Has Averett, the USA South member, will be back in action this weekend as they take on Greensboro in a 3-game set.
Futrell, a .315 hitter on the season with 10 RBIs. Batting cleanup today for the Cougars.
Sees that first one for a strike count as 0-1. Cougars 3-3 away from the friendly confines of Danville. The 0-1. He thought about it, but umpire said strike anyway, 0-2.
This was a great off-speed pitch by Morelli to keep Futrell off balance.
It'll be an 0-2 from Morelli. Fly ball into center. Taylor has a beat on it. And the ball got over his head at the last second. Taylor's throw in. And Futrell is standing with a double to lead things off here for the Cougars in the second.
It's a great start for the Cougars, getting a man on. Let's see if they can move him around.
So we'll bring Billy McLaughlin up. McLaughlin, who is at first base today, also has dabbled on the mound for the Cougars. He is a senior out of Reston, Virginia. So now a little bit different for Morelli, his first base runner of the day, and Morelli, for the most part, will have his back to him as he is on second. And Morelli will have to go from the stretch as well. First pitch to McLaughlin is taken for a strike, 0-1. McLaughlin on the season, .315 batting average, 24 games played, 24 games have been started by the sophomore, or by the senior out of Reston. The 0-1 from Morelli. That's sprayed into right field, and that'll get foul, 0-2.
Great job by Morelli getting a quick 2 strikes here on McLaughlin.
Do you believe in waste pitches?
Yeah, I believe in waste pitches. With 2 strikes, some hitters change up, and they change their approach with 2 strikes, and they may chase a fastball or curveball out of the zone.
Let's see what Morelli gives him on the 0-2. Takes a look at Futrell back at second. Now brings his attention to the plate. Umpire called time. Looked like a good pitch. The time had been called.
Looked like a curveball there by Morelli.
Now we'll see if the pitch selection changes. It's kind of a free look for McLaughlin as he had stepped out and called time. It'll be an 0-2 from Morelli. Chop back to Morelli. Morelli will just look to first and get the sure out. 1 down. This will bring Drew Evans to the plate. Evans is a senior out of Durham, North Carolina.
Evans has been .270 on the season with 9 RBIs and 6 runs scored for the Cougars.
I like what Morelli did right there, though, because he didn't pay any attention to Futrell, who was going to probably beat the play to third without a problem. I think sometimes pitchers get so wrapped up in those runners that it becomes bad news, but Morelli took the sure out. First pitch, upstairs.
Morelli's probably looking for a strikeout or a fly ball here. And
be a 1-0 pitch to Evans. Noah Greenblatt on deck, right back grounded to the mound. Now this time he will look Futrell back, has good fortune shining down on the Hornets. Has 2 outs, and Greenblatt will come up. And now, if a fly ball comes from the senior out of Cary Academy, it won't help too much.
Yeah, great job on Morelli getting that second out of the inning. Greenblatt's batting .233 on the season with 10 RBIs and 10 runs scored.
90 feet away is Futrell. Pitch will be coming from Morelli as he'll still work from the stretch. First pitch outside, 1-0. Now, if you're Matthew Cotton, the pressure's on you because you just can't let anything get behind you. There is some serious real estate here at City Stadium from plate to backstop. Minor League Park of the Cleveland Indians single A affiliate, 2-0. Moves to 3-0. Now, Morelli doesn't have to give anything here that he doesn't want to give Greenblatt to hit.
Yeah, there's an open bag at first base. You might just see a ball forward right here, face the next guy.
Next guy would be Trey Wall if he is seen, and it's going to be 3-1 as, again, Greenblatt was ready to, I think, take his pass down to first, but the umpire behind the plate said that one was good. So the count moves to 3-1. Trey Wall, the backstop for Averett today on deck. And he will see it right now, has a walk to Greenblatt, and they're on the corners for the Cougars here in the second with Trey Wall coming to the plate.
Trey Wall behind the plate, like you said, he's only batting $173 for the season with 4 RBIs. But let's see what he could do here with 2 outs.
You know, a lot of people, I think, used to say, we'll concede the defense at shortstop and we want the offense at catcher. Now I think it's kind of flip-flop. If you go from the big leagues down, shortstop more an offensive position, but catcher needs to be one of your best defensive players. Pitches in there for a strike. I am Bob Alvis, Justin Jones, my partner today, filling in for Joe Hutzler here at Lynchburg City Stadium. No score between the Hornets and the Cougars, top of the second, but the Cougars threatening with runners on the corner. Pitch to Wall, swung through and missed, and Morelli gets ahead 0-2. It'll be an 0-2 from Morelli. About a 2-step lead each way at first and third. Grounded to second. Tomasulo will just flip to Katona. Hornets out of the inning. 2 runners get on. Nobody gets home. We will head to the bottom of the second. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Hornets. No score. You're listening to Lynchburg Baseball on LHSN and ESPN Radio. Bob Alvis, joined by Justin Jones today, as first 2 innings have gone by with both teams unscathed, 0-0, as we will head to the top of the third. It'll be 9-1-2 for Averett. Morelli has almost seen the whole order, and he has only given up 1 hit and walked 1. How do you think he's feeling with his first start of the year going, knock on wood, as well as it has so far?
I feel like Chris is gaining more confidence here as we get into the top of the third. Hopefully he can keep it going and get a quality start here for the Hornets.
He will face the freshman to start things off, A.J. Hart out of Beaver Dam, Virginia, Patrick Henry High School.
Hart only has 11 at-bats this season, so he's pretty fresh up there.
He'll bat from the right side. I don't think you ever want to go in losing a game, obviously, but with these non-conference games, Coach Abel and Coach Fulton can both maybe tinker around and see what maybe can work for him down the road, as those conference games are huge. First pitch swinging is Hart. Grounder to short. Katona up and fires over to first, and there's 1 down. So we'll head around to the top of the order again as young man out of Ringgold, Dallas Smithers, will get things going. Smithers a strikeout victim his first time up.
It's another quick out there from Morelli on the mound. See if he can get another one here with the leadoff hitter.
First pitch, breaking ball to Smithers, breaks across, and 0-1. He hasn't really been throwing like he's been double parked outside the stadium, but he's been throwing strikes consistently.
Yeah, that's what you have to do here with this first start of the season.
The 0-1, 1-1. And you never know. I mean, is it an audition at the same time for, maybe more meaningful starts down the road? I mean, Averett is a pretty good hitting ball club. Cougars off to a 10-14 record so far as they're looking to get things figured out as well in USA South. And that pitch to Smithers is a strike, 1-2.
As a team, Averett's batting .260 on the campaign.
Count will be 1-2. Morelli goes from the line. Smithers thought about it. Maybe should have made that swing. Strike 3 as Smithers, who is the pitcher today, has not gotten that chance to really help himself out yet. 2 Ks, and those are the only 2 Ks for Morelli today as well. And this will bring the second baseman, Hunter Ashworth, up. Ashworth out of Tunstall High School. Waits the first pitch from Morelli. The pitch is low, 1-0.
Hunter batting .250 on the season. In his last at bat, he grounded out the shortstop.
9-1-2 for Lynchburg in their half of the third. The 1-0. Hit on the button a second. Tomasulo will run in with the backhand. And the Cougars go 1-2-3 here in the top of the third. We'll come back with the bottom of the third. It'll be Taylor, Powell, and Gatona. No score here with Lynchburg and Averett. You're listening to Lynchburg Hornets Baseball on LHSN and ESPN Radio. The Cougars, it will be 3, 4, and 5. Vidano, Futrell, and McLaughlin here in the top of the fourth. I am Bob Alvis, joined by Justin Jones, Tyler Jerdon, Zach Herndon, and Doug Hines all on site with us, and Mark Myers punching the buttons back at ESPN Radio. And we thank you for your patronage wherever you're listening to us on a beautiful spring night in Lynchburg, Virginia. Don't know if you can really say night. I mean, it is past 6 o'clock, but still quite a bit of sun out, as the sun will stay out until about 8. The lights are on here at City Stadium. And this will bring Kyle Vidano to get things started. Vidano grounded out to Tomasulo, his first time up.
Vidano, the shortstop, batting .262 on the season for the Cougars.
Cougars 25-13 last year for Ed Fulton's squad. It was good enough for third in the USA South. First pitch taken for a ball, 1-0.
In Kyle's last at bat, he did ground out the second base to Tomasulo.
Morelli has not had much trouble today so far, as he got through 11 batters in the first 3 innings. It's a 2-0 count here to Vidano.
He's only let up 1 hit here through 3 innings.
The 2-0. And for a strike, 2-1. Really haven't seen him fluster. I mean, granted, a lot of base runners have not been on for Averett today, but he has looked pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. For the first start of the season for Morelli, he's looking pretty good here through 3.
2-1. And Vidano fouls that one off, right side. Vidano out of Albemarle, so really a high school rival of what would have been Percy Abel's alma mater, the Western Albemarle out of Crozet. But that's a border war, too, and Vidano took that one right in the shoulder. So, Morelli hates to lose him on a 2-2 with a hit by pitch, as Vidano will go to first, and that did not look like it felt very good, but it got him in the upper shoulder.
Yeah, not at all. I've taken a couple of those before. They're not too fun.
Where is the fun spot to take one?
Ooh, I don't know if there is any.
Right. Because you'll see people, I mean, if they get that foul ball ricocheting off like a, foot or something, I mean, it's almost like we need the MASH unit to come out sometimes, as Nick Futrell will step to the plate.
Futrell doubled in his last plate appearance.
Now, when you got hit by a pitch, how eager were you to maybe take off on the base pass?
I actually got down there pretty quick. So I just didn't want to take too much time getting down there.
Pitch to Futrell, Vadano is moving, and the throw is not in time. I think Katona might have gotten there in time, but could not slap the tag on.
It's Vadano's 12th stolen base on the campaign. Does lead the Cougar team.
Well, it was his shoulder that got hit, not the wheels, but still, I mean, after a while, you think, I just want to stand here for a minute, just get that pain out. But not the case for Vadano. His second pitch, he was taken off. It'll be a 1-0 to Futrell. That pitch hits the mitt for a strike, 1-1.
It's a great test from Morelli here in the top of the fourth inning. See if he can keep that runner at second base.
It'll be a 1-1. And Morelli will step off. Not a real humid day out, so really nobody should be getting gas. I mean, the pitcher's got more work to do than most, but Morelli looks like he's not laboring whatsoever here in the fourth. That pitch by Futrell fouled off.
Looks like he's settling in here now in the top of the fourth. It is his first start of the season, so I don't know how long Abel will have him out there.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point, Justin. I mean, he does look like he's just really in a groove right now. I mean, Vadano did get hit and get put on, but other than that, I mean, Morelli looks to be comfortable. Does not look to be shaken. And I'll tell you, for a first start, to put somebody on this field at City Stadium, much different than Fox Field at Lynchburg College. So I would think the nerves would be going a little bit more.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now. I mean, only allowing one hit here through 3 innings.
1-2. Flown into right. And dropped out of the glove as Harris, may have taken his eye off of it at the last second. And that will move Futrell up to second. Vadano had to stop because he was thinking the ball was going to be caught. And the Cougars have something going here in the fourth, as this will bring Billy McLaughlin up. McLaughlin, the senior out of Reston, Virginia, up in the Virginia Beach area of the state.
Gofflin batting .315 on the season. His last plate appearance, he did ground out to Chris at pitching. See if he can do it again. Hopefully keep that man on third there.
Well, fly ball will tie this game up, but that one was ripped foul down the third base line, scattering Vadano and Edgefulton. And more importantly, Morelli ahead in the count 0-1.
A fly ball will probably do the job here because Vadano is pretty quick over there at third base.
It'll be an 0-1. Runners on second and third for the Cougars. That pitch will miss outside, 1-1, and Matthew Cotton will head out to talk to Morelli. I don't know what you're saying right now. I mean, again, you've been in a good groove. If you're Morelli, just a little bit of bad luck has hit your way for the Hornets.
Khan is just probably trying to calm him down, get a ground ball here to get the first out of the inning.
It'll be a 1-1 on its way from Morelli. First base is open. And that one is sprayed foul towards the first base dugout over top, and the count moves to 1-2.
A strikeout right here for the Hornets will be great. Getting the first out of the inning with a runner on third and second.
Can't draw it up any better than maybe a ground out by Evans back to the mound if you're going to foreshadow a nice future for Lynchburg. However, if you're a Cougars fan, you want to see 2 men score off the bat of McLaughlin. Let's see what happens. McLaughlin again stays around as he's making Morelli work. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, I think a lot of people don't think about it. Futrell's got to be just as heads up at second because basically he's running if Vadano runs, but if Vadano for some reason slipped or tripped or held up, Futrell's got to maintain a close path to second as well. The 1-2, upstairs, 2-2.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot on pass balls, or even if the ball bounces in front of the plate, catcher tries to block it. You got to make sure the guy in front of you doesn't go.
It'll be a 2-2 from Morelli. He'll go from the stretch. Swung and missed. This could be a double whammy as the run will score. McLaughlin will get to first as well on the strikeout as the ball got away from Cotton. And for all the good luck Lynchburg was having early on, bad luck has come into play in the fourth inning as the Cougars get their first run across. This will bring Drew Evans to the plate with runners on the corners. One of the most important people right now that has to shake off this is Morelli.
Yeah, Morelli he's done pretty well so far through 3 1/3, or 3 innings so far. He just needs to calm down, maybe get a ground ball here, get a double play.
1-1 score, 1-1-1 for the Cougars. 1-7-0 for the Hornets. Pitch will miss 1-0, and I think that 1 in the error column is supposed to be dragged down to Lynchburg. I don't think the Hornets reached at all on an error so far. It was that fly ball that Futrell hit that Harris had problems with in right.
I think you're right, Bob.
I like you, Justin. I'm going to keep you around just because you say those things. It'll be a 1-0 from Morelli. Again, showing bunt, and this time not pulling it back in time, 1-1. Let's just play devil's advocate here and says McLaughlin takes off from first to second. If you're Cotton, are you really trying to gun him, knowing that Futrell might try to come home as well?
You just got to make sure, you got to see how far McLaughlin's down on third base. If he's too far down the line, you're probably just going to hold it, but if your third baseman does cover the bag, you might be able to pick him off at third base.
It'll be a 1-1. McLaughlin was moving from first. Futrell's on third, not really taking much of a lead at all. So maybe Averett just trying to get ducks on the pond at second and third. But again, I mean, you never know. Whatever Cotton does behind the plate might dictate what Averett does on the base pass. 1-2. Top of the fourth, we're all square at 1. Pitch is grounded to third. Nice stop there. Futrell's going to score them. They'll get the lead out at second. So a good job there. First off, stopping the ball from Thomas Powell. And then secondly, getting the force at second. And there's one down.
Nice job getting out there by Powell. Another ground ball here might end the inning here for the Hornets.
So we'll bring Noah Greenblatt to the plate. Greenblatt, the senior out of Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina.
Greenblatt is batting .233 on the season with 10 RBIs and 10 runs scored.
So the Cougars have moved in front, and they're moving runners again. That ball is going to not drop into center field. It was caught by Taylor, the throw back to first. Not in time, as it was kind of caught on the line. Evans did not seem grossly concerned that it was going to be caught until like the last second, then had to scamper back.
Evans got lucky there. I mean, if Taylor was able to set his feet, he was probably out there at first base.
Probably a reason, too, that Evans kind of had that jump to second because he knew that Taylor was making a running catch. And again, like you said, it's going to be hard to set the feet and really get the most power from your throw as Trey Wall will step to the plate. 2-1 is our score as the Cougars have answered Lynchburg's run in the third with 2 themselves here in the fourth.
Wall's last at bat, he grounded out to second base for the Cougars.
Pitch from Morelli, 1-0. Bounce to short, Katona, 2 hops, fires over to Tomasulo, and that will do it for inning number 4. Bottom half of the inning coming up, it'll be 7, 8, and 9 for the Hornets. Hornets trail 2-1. You're listening to Lynchburg Baseball on LHSN and ESPN Radio. So it'll be Hart, Smithers, and Ashworth, the scheduled 3, as grounds crew will have to get their materials off the the field. Lynchburg would love to be playing on this field in early May because that is when the ODAC tournament is here at City Stadium. Take the top 6 out of the ODAC. Double elimination. Starts on Thursday, ends on Sunday. And counts 0-1.
Nice off speed there to start off. Hart.
Morelli's 0-1 offering. He'll go from the line. And Hart will chop that foul, 0-2. A.J. Hart, freshman out of Beaver Dam, Virginia. And Morelli, the man on the hill from Mahopac, New York. Not a Sunday drive from Mahopac to Beaver Dam. The 0-2. Hits Hart right in the back. And again, Morelli just had that one get away from him. And Cougars put their leadoff man on in the 5th. So Dallas Smithers will now try to help his own cause with a leadoff man aboard.
Dallas batting .304 for the season for the Cougars. In his last 2 plate appearances, he did strike out.
Averett will be at Owen Fulton Field this weekend when Greensboro comes into town. USA South does it a little bit differently. They play a game on Friday normally, and then a double dip on Saturday, or a double dip on Saturday and then one on Sunday. So they go with more of a 3-game series where the ODAC you'll see double headers on Saturday. As the pitch from Morelli will come to Smithers here.
Good leader there by Hart.
In the 5th. And time was called, so Hart will retreat. Cougars have played their share of the ODAC as well, taking on Bridgewater, Guilford, Hampton-Sydney, Washington and Lee, and Roanoke so far this year. Lynchburg will return the favor on Wednesday, April 6th, when they head down to Danville. That pitch is fouled out of play, right field side. Count evens out at 1. Smithers, who started his baseball career at UVA Wise, has now earned trust in his sophomore campaign, his first campaign for Averett, as that pitch will get away from Codden, and easily into second goes Hart. So if you're Morelli, I know you've got to know Hart's on second, but how much are you trying to concentrate in what's on in front of you in Dallas Smithers?
If I'm Morelli right now, I'm just trying to get Smithers out at the plate, keep Hart at second base.
It'll be a 2-1 from Morelli. That goes wide. And now Morelli's control looks like may be getting a little shaky, as that prompted somebody to jump out of the Hornets dugout, and now there's some activity going on in the pen. And we'll leave that to Robert Garrett that will go out and head to the mound as well. I think the main thing you want to try to convince your pitcher, though, is you're okay.
Yeah. Only 2-1 here in the top of the 5th. Morelli can calm down, get a strikeout, maybe a ground ball. He can get out of this inning.
Be a 3-1 count. And conversation at the mound. And again, you've got a runner on third. So now if Smithers did get a fly ball, you're probably looking at a 3-1 game. But I don't think that can be your concern if you're the pitcher. You just got to get the guy out, because a couple of your pitches have been where you have not wanted them.
Yeah, he just needs finest control, settle down, and do what he knows.
Home plate umpire will walk to the mound to break up the convention. Has Robert Garrett going to make him walk all the way there? Normally, you'll see the coach kind of come off the mound as the umpire comes out there, but that was a full-fledged trip.
It looks like the lefty Jake Connor down there in the bullpen for the Hornets.
So it'll be a 3-1 count. Pitch from Morelli. Smithers fouls that one back, right over top. That ball will stay on top of the stadium here and then trickle down.
The infield is in now for the Hornets,
Yep.
trying to catch the run at the plate.
3-2. Pitch is lined into right field, and that will drop down for a base hit. So bringing the infield in, you conceded something. That was blooped, though, so that might have probably gotten in anyway. But run scores, and the Cougars lead 3-1.
That is Smithers' 5th RBI on the campaign.
So we'll bring Hunter Ashworth to the plate. Ashworth, the junior out of Tunstall. Smithers' lead is more than what you would normally see out of a guy who's on the mound. But maybe he's figuring I'm going to try to help myself as well.
Smithers is 2nd on the team in stolen bases, 9 this season.
First pitch will miss for a ball, 1-0.
With no outs right here, I think Hunter's just going to try to move him over second base for 3 and 4 hitters.
The 1-0. Ashworth is showing bunt. That was in there for a strike, 1-1. On deck is Kyle Vidano. Be a 1-1. Pitch. Ashworth showed bunt, then pulled it back, sprays it into the hole in right center. And Smithers might get around. Taylor cuts it off. The throw. There won't be one. And the Cougars going station to station here, deluxe style. As that will plate another run, and the Cougars are up 4-1.
It was a great jump by Smithers over there, first base to score from the double.
And that will be the day for Morelli. So we'll get you the numbers on the new pitcher.